Starting off with the motion shot. Yeah. Can you come over here? Got about 30 seconds before we go live. Check.
P.O.P bounce. And it's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. Let's go. It's about to get real. It's about to get. It's about to get real. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor.
I don't know it. What you about to learn?
All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. All my blessed people. Report to the dance floor. Step, 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 step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left, clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Stand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left, clap, clap. It's a new direction with a brand new blessing. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Step, 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 step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Step up. Backstand still, matter of fact. Everywhere you look, you got a blessing on the way. Turn it out to the right, clap, clap, step up and watch God. Step back and watch God. Turn it out to the left, at me. Just look at me. Just look at me. Don't hate, take it up with God. He did it. Just look at me. Just look at me. Just look at me. Don't hate, take it up with God. He did it. Just look at me. Just look at me. Just look at me. Don't hate, take it up with God. He did it. Just look at me.
Mic check. What it do, y'all? Welcome to Transitions Part 2, Week 2, however you want to call it. But it's the Pop Live experience. We about to go crazy. And like I said last time, we got to do our part by like, sharing, commenting, participating, because it's going down. It's something that you don't want to miss. So I'm going to go crazy. Once again, I'm DJ Wright, Pop Live Experience, Seat Tab, hosting it, Transitions. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Just look at me. Just look at me. Just look at me. Don't hate.
Let's go.
Experience, y'all. What's going on, family? We are so excited to be here with you tonight because it's going down. Here at C-Tab, this is the Pop Experience where we are perfecting on purpose. We appreciate y'all for kicking it with us. It's no liver place to be on a Friday night. We about to turn up. We are so excited to have y'all. I don't know about y'all, but again, as always, I mean, it's Friday. I'm feeling so good right now. I'm feeling so right. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so check this out. Before we go any further, I gotta do one thing real quick. I gotta give it up for the DJ, y'all. Can y'all get a DJ song? We see you, DJ Wright. We see you, DJ Wright. Our resident spin doctor. We see you, bro. I'm your host, Marcus, and this is the Pop Experience, a part of our transitions community here at C-Tab and Metro Detroit. And if y'all been rocking with us for a little while, y'all know we be talking about some real stuff. We all about making Christ practical. How we live in this life, how we walk in this walk, especially right now, adulting, right? That's what I call it, right? You know, mama and daddy, I love them, but they ain't tell me everything that went into being an adult. So that's what we here to help do, is to figure out these life issues in a way that is centered around Christ. I'm excited, y'all. I can't tell y'all how pumped I am to be here. So with that being said, before we jump into tonight's topic and also introduce some very, very special guests, I want to make sure y'all don't be stingy with the goods, right? Don't be stingy with the goods. Call your friends, hit them up, text them. They ain't doing nothing on a Friday night. It's a pandemic. Tell them to go ahead, hit this YouTube live, hit this Facebook live, because we about to turn up and drop some knowledge, y'all. We about to get this info. I'm excited. So again, make sure you send the information to somebody, hit them up, and then when y'all in there, go ahead, throw a pop in the comments when you hear that fire. When you hear something that hits you right in the chest, when you hear bars, throw that P.O.P, pop, right in the comments.
Exactly, and if this is your first time tuning into the Pop Experience, my name is Candice, and we would like to extend a warm welcome to the Transitions community. We are a group of young professionals. There's a big group of us. We are looking to do life together, grow in God, and especially make it our point to perfect on purpose. We hope that there is something that you gain from tonight's message and programs that we have available for you, and that especially if you have been overwhelmed by clutter, tonight's topic is messy. It's time to clean up.
Ooh. Did you say messy, sis?
I said messy.
Not messy, though. But you can't say that in the church. You can't say stuff is messy. Well, our lives, we got some mess.
Well, it's time to clean up our mess.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. And we gonna clean it up. You absolutely right, sis. I know I be having some mess going on, and God working with me. I'm perfecting on purpose, right? I'm growing, I'm maturing, and we gonna help y'all to do the same.
Yep, I'm saying, y'all, messiness is manifesting in people's lives in ways you wouldn't imagine. Friendships, family, work, on the job, everywhere. So we gotta talk about it, y'all. We pride ourselves on being transparent, and we don't know everything, but we source people who do. We're smart. We know how to delegate and locate the talent. So tune in, you guys are gonna love it.
Speaking of messy, y'all gotta see my boy Kel. I mean,
Ooh.
you know what? I'm gonna just let y'all see the tape, all right? Go ahead, run that video real quick.
Transitions. Look, I need help. I understand that a cluttered house is a cluttered mind, and my closet is cluttered. I have stuff everywhere. Shoes, socks, suits, pants, everything. I need help.
No worries, Kel. We got you on the tips. So, when it comes to having an organized closet, all you need to really know is that everything has a place, right? So I remember you mentioning your suits. So as long as you have a spot for your suits, your pants, your tops, and here's a secret that not a lot of people know about. Add a drawer set. The drawer set helps you keep things like socks and t-shirts and other little things that you might need to keep away. And one of my favorite things to add is a shoe rack. I have a shoe obsession, so having a shoe rack is definitely a good additive into your closet. So basically, if everything has a space and everything is in a category, it keeps everything so much more neater and cleaner, and it also helps you to keep it clean. Hey Transitions, thanks for having me here. So my name is Kiera, and I'm here to give you a couple of tips on being clean. So here I have a couple of different setups here to show you how to keep a clean closet and declutter as much as you can. So my first tip is for hangers. For hangers, I love to use the velvet hangers because they're very thin and they're also very good for your clothes where they won't mess up and mess up your shoulder pads with all of your clothes. So I also like to get certain accessories for clothes. So here we've got velvet clips that you can clip your tops to, or you can also clip an entire outfit. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips on how to keep everything super thin and super together. So I've got a pair of pants here that we can get. Super simple and easy. You just get these pants, just fold them right over. Your clothes will never get messed up with these hangers. I also have another tip here, which is a organizer for your clothes. So I've got a pair of pants in here that you can roll up and keep everything super organized. So I've got a pair of jeans here. Just gonna grab these. Do a little tuck and roll. Stick it right in there. Then we've also got a couple of accessories where you can get your belts, hang them on some rods, and you've got all of your closet space nice and organized. And we like to keep everything compact so you can fit more clothes. That's always good. So one thing I do like I mentioned before, are the velvet hangers. You can get these in so many different colors to match your style. Got so many in here. So we've got pink, we have gray, we have black. Everyone has different style, but the velvet hangers work for everyone. I also work for California Closets, and I do design closets. Everybody can't do California Closets, so these are super simple tips where everyone can have a nice, clean closet. Thanks.
Yo, Kiera, thank you so much for those amazing tips. I mean, Shane always be laughing at me because, right, I be using what, wire hangers? So,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
think there was
definitely a
move-
velvet hanger girl.
Like, no more wire hangers. Like, yo, so I'm definitely getting some of them velvet boys over there. So thank you so much again, Kiera. But I feel kind of like, this is how I'm feeling. I feel like maybe cleaning up some of the actual physical clutter in the space is probably easy. That's the light work, right? But Maybe. Well, yeah, you're right for some folks. But check this out. What about the messiness in our lives, though, right? Whether it's people, toxicity, relationships, finances, professional situations. What about some of that messiness, y'all? Well, we about to get into it. That's what we really about to do is get into it. About to tackle the rest.
Yes, and to help us tackle that, we actually have a power couple here that has expertise not only in leadership, but together they have over 16 years of experience of serving not only the community, but helping us to rid toxicity out of our lives by their combined expertise. They help the community through administration, public education, as well as life coaching and passionately empowering others to success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sherikia and Jahquan Hawkins. How are you tonight?
Feeling good, feeling good. Glad to be here on a Friday night.
We are so happy to have you. You know, as Marcus was saying, we have so much clutter in our minds. And as you can see, not only is it with our closets, like what you said, but spiritually as well as mentally. So in your walks, as far as in the things that you do on a daily basis and helping others, what are some examples of some things that you have seen along the way where it comes to tackling toxicity? Like, how have you been able to help people with that in their lives? Like, to get rid of the toxic? How do you normally go about helping people with that?
Well, I think we have to be mindful of the toxins that we allow within us. And so in order to combat toxicity, you have to practice self-love and provide space within for those antibodies to fight all the toxic things that come against us in this world. And so I think it all begins with us pouring into us positive things and things that are going to nurture our spirits, our minds, and our souls.
And to add to that, you know, obviously we're in a pandemic and we're talking about vaccines. And in dealing with toxicity, you need to identify a vaccine that will help you move forward. And I know now in the society that we're in, some people are pro-vaccine, some people are anti-vaccines, but basically a vaccine is something that it was built to help you. So whether the vaccine for you in eliminating toxicity is meditation, or it's a walk, or it's just silence, or it's comic relief, you know, you have to identify what your vaccine is.
Yeah, wow, to that one. I wasn't
I had to come out hard, you know.
I wasn't expecting that one.
She dope, she dope.
I was thinking about that last night, you know.
Yeah, you did a good job. Yeah.
So
She ready.
I better say, I was going to ask the question, like, you know, what are some of the implications? Like, when I think of toxicity, okay, and I mean, this is me being real transparent. Like, I know that, and I don't want to go down the social media rabbit hole, right? But we're going to go down the social media rabbit hole. Okay. So my question is something to the tune of, yo, with so much information being fed to us, right? You talked about, like, finding the antibodies and, you know, the vaccine. Love the medical analogies, by the way. But where I'm going with this is just to get an understanding of, with so much information, whether it's from social media or traditional media sources with just things coming at us, what are the implications? What is that doing to us when we've fed so much information? What are the implications of all of this toxicity in our lives?
Well, I think it's stress and anxiety. We can allow ourselves to be overwhelmed with information because in this social media world that we live in, we always feel as if we're missing something. If we put our phone down for 5 minutes or we turn off the news for one day, and then we tune in the next day and everyone's talking about the things that we didn't see while we were actually living our lives. And I think we have to make space and opportunity in our lives to simply live, not to just chase the next story or the next post or what have you. And I think that that's our filter. Our filter is our family. Our filter is our church home. Our filter is things that edify us as individuals. And if we don't have a filter, then we're going to allow toxic things into our lives and ultimately become overwhelmed.
And to add to what Jahquan was saying, a lot of times when we're preparing to travel, you know, we get on a plane, right? And it was one of the few times where you have to go in airplane mode, okay? So you go in airplane mode and you don't have status. You know, if you fly Delta like me, I'm Team Delta, you know, you get the Wi-Fi, you know what I'm saying? Spirit, you ain't got no Wi-Fi, but, you know. So you get the Wi-Fi, but you're in airplane mode. So sometimes we're in the skies, we're in the clouds, but in life, sometimes to get rid of or get set aside your phone and the social media, you need to put your phone on airplane mode. So airplane mode is not just you flying in the sky, it's you living your daily life. And sometimes you have to just cut things off, whether you start out at airplane mode for 30 minutes and it's an hour. You have to detach. The first realm of growing is a level of uncomfortability, right? So when you're uncomfortable, you grow. So maybe putting that iPhone on airplane mode for 10 minutes is real uncomfortable, but that's a time for you to grow.
Wow.
Pop. I was gonna say pop on that one.
I wanted to jump to, you mentioned fear of missing out, FOMO, like something that we quote all the time. Can you speak to that? And I know specifically, you know, the millennial generation, we deal with it a lot. I know you guys, I mean, it's just, but can you speak to that and some ways of dealing with that or even being conscious of it? Because I feel like a lot of times it could be subliminal.
Well, one of the things that I do, and it helps me as well as a non-millennial, we won't say what generation I'm a part of, but there is a feature on your phone that will give you a status at the end of the week as to how much data you've actually used and how long you've been logged in. And sometimes you'll look at that number and it's embarrassing. It's like stepping on the scale after you've been on vacation and you went to a few too many buffets. I look at the buffet of information that I've taken in throughout the week, and when I see that I've been online for 5 hours and 6 hours, for one, I'm wondering, how was I even productive? How did I produce anything of any merit in that week? And, you know, sometimes it's okay to shame yourself, and I shame myself into cutting my phone off, or like my wife said, putting it into airplane mode. Sometimes you have to see the numbers, because what we don't measure, we don't improve.
And too much of anything is bad for you. So it's just like social media, that could be like carbs. And if all you doing is carbs, man, you know, stomach gonna be a little, it ain't gonna be, you know, right for the summer. So
She's spitting tonight. She's spitting tonight.
Both of y'all are. Y'all dropping bars, as we used to say back in like 2015.
Get at me.
But
Get at me.
my question is though, but where's the balance? How do you practically identify? Like, where's the like the social media, the traditional media, the texting? Where is the food pyramid or the nutritional pyramid for all the things that are being thrown at us and we're consuming on a daily basis? How do we find that balance practically?
It's not a one size fits all. So you have to custom how you're doing things. So if you continue to do things the same way, you know, that's insanity, expecting the same results, right? So small wins. Let's just talk about small wins. You may consume a lot of social media, some toxicity, so you have to make small steps in taking that out of your diet. And where that can start is saying you're going to be off of a social media stream, or a person that you may love may cause you to go into a certain space that may cause you to have your mind take over and toxic thoughts take over your mind, and you may have to only allow certain space and time to deal with that person. So now we have these catchphrases of protecting your peace, but protecting your peace also means that you got to be brave and courageous, because you got to tell people how you really feel, and that may hurt some feelings, but you have to do that in a way. We're all Christians. You're still going to love, but you can love from a distance.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think you also have to understand what your essential foods are and your non-essential foods are in your life, right? We know that we need water. We know that we need fruits. We need vegetables. We need good carbs, right? But we don't need the snacks. We don't need, you know, the Yoo-hoo. We don't need the Ho-Hos and so forth. You know, those are all cool. And we have an 8-year-old, and sometimes I sneak and I get his fruit snacks out of the cupboard, you know, but that's a snack. It's something that I'm doing to treat myself. And we have to treat social media. We have to treat sometimes toxic people that maybe entertain us or make us laugh, make us feel a certain way, like we do a snack. But we know that we need prayer. We know that we need time with our family. We know that we need time to meditate. We know that we need time to rest, right? That's that essential food that we need. But every once in a while, we want to treat ourselves to a snack. We just have to understand the difference between the two.
I know we're about to try to jump off the social media horse, right? But a lot of times we think about social media from the perspective of what we're consuming. But can you speak a little bit to maybe like what we're putting out there? Like, I don't think we necessarily consider what we may be putting out there and what it could be doing to others. So can you guys maybe speak to that?
I just think one of the rules that I've subscribed to in recent years, I guess in my wisdom, is you don't have to respond to every piece of stimulus that you're exposed to. I think we have a we feel a need sometimes, especially if someone says something that we don't agree with necessarily. Oh, okay, I got to get my Twitter fingers out. I got to get on there, right? Because they're not about to do me like this, or people that subscribe to this ideology like this. And we have to understand that if you give yourself just 10 seconds to look at the post, to digest the post, to think about the implications of responding to the post, how many people, raise your hand, some folks in the audience here, they won't see you. You've responded to a post that you didn't agree with, and you and that person went back and forth on that same post for literally hours in a specific day. And you looked up and lunchtime has passed, and you're still going back and forth with this person. You haven't even eaten, and you're still allowing this person to essentially create a toxic environment for you. And you're feeding into it yourself. And that in and of itself can consume you. And I think we just have to be important. We have to understand that we don't have to be responsive to everything that we see.
And you have to have the discipline that sometimes no response is the greatest thing you can do.
Amen.
And you know, we all have typed and delete. You know, we've all have done that. And you know, sometimes you even have to just do Control-Alt-Delete and just walk away if you're on your, desktop. But you have to have that discipline. Again, discipline requires you to be uncomfortable and just be able to just remain silent in some instances.
Wow. Well, I actually had a question that was a little different. So I know we talked about just some things we could do, but can you guys break down any things that we could do or that people could do just to set aside some time? Like, remember when we was kids, we go outside and play. Obviously, we adults, and, it's a little different now, but what are some things we can do, just like little stuff we could do to just kind of get our mind off our phones or social media or whatever? So what are some things?
One of the things that's been critically important in my life, particularly since the pandemic, is taking a walk through the neighborhood. And I understand that not all neighborhoods are walkable. That's my disclaimer. I don't want anybody to say, oh, I got jumped on Mac and be with. But if you have a walkable neighborhood, walk through it. If not, walk around your house, walk around, walk on your treadmill or whatever the case may be. Just smelling that fresh air, being able to wave to a neighbor, in particular during the pandemic when we're so, disconnected from people. It was nice to see people walking their dogs. It was nice to see people jogging and just to say hello from a distance, walking through the neighborhood. So that was one of the things that was really important in terms of me just establishing a balance between being on the phone, being on Zoom, and obviously connecting with the world around me.
I think for me, I wake up pretty early in the morning, so setting the atmosphere. Obviously we're in a pandemic, and it's times where you can, if we keeping it all the way real, you can be the negative person. So I believe in setting the atmosphere. So early in the morning, I will get up, I will meditate, and what will be the fruit of my lips is just, I thank you, Lord. And whatever's coming through my spirit at that time is what I'm thanking him for. I'm thanking you for good health. I'm thanking you for a roof over my head. I'm thanking you for a good husband, Y'all see what I did there, right?
I love it.
All right. They said it's date night before this, y'all. They said they already got a sitter.
So I think you have to be cognizant of the atmosphere that you set, because when you're setting atmospheres, that's contagious. And it can really set the tone in your house. And especially when you have children pick up on those things. So I think for me, setting the tone, setting the atmosphere, and creating a spirit of thanksgiving.
You better talk about that Malachi first fruits. You better talk about it. So I got a question, right? So shifting from the social media, right? So me and my wife, she'll recall this moment actually a day ago. We sitting in the bedroom, and I'm talking to my 8-year-old daughter. And she comes in and she says something to the tune of, we say, Mason, you're eating too many sweets. Kind of like your son, they're about the same age, right? Eating too many sweets, you don't have to go downstairs and get some sugar every single time, right? You get something, eat a vegetable, right? Get a tomato, something, I don't know.
That's a fruit. That's a fruit.
That is a fruit. You dropping bars, you dropping knowledge. But she tells me it was interesting because we said, well, hey, listen, you gotta have discipline. You can't just always eat what you want. But she's like, but why, Daddy? She genuinely looked surprised when I told her that having sugar all the time is toxic. It's not healthy for her. So where I'm going with this is to ask the question, when things make us feel good, whether it's social media, whether it's a relationship, platonic or romantic, how do we identify things that are toxic even though we like it so much, or we love it, we love doing it, we like doing it? How do we identify things that are toxic that make us feel good?
That's good.
So you got this? What you got it?
I'm sure you got. I'm sure you have something in the chamber, but I'm gonna kick it off. I think we need to ask ourselves a very critical question when it comes to what you just mentioned, and that critical question is: does this relationship, does this experience, does this treat, this snack, right? Does it feed into whatever my goals are for myself, right? So is there a connection between this person that I'm spending X amount of hours with, X amount of days with, and where I want to be romantically, where I want to be when it comes to my my spiritual life, when it comes to my career? Is this person going to be a helper, or is this person going to be a hindrance? Is this experience going to be a help or a hindrance? And if not, then you have to draw a line of demarcation between the things that are nice to have, the people that are nice to have in your life, and people that you need to have in your life.
So I know this may sound crazy, right? But as you were saying that, right, and not to cut you off, Marcus, but when you say, when you think about a snack and you think about these friendships and relationships, now I'm starting to see where, even on social media, we've become addicted. So it's like addictions. You can actually, I believe, become addicted to this conversation of, when we talk about toxic things here, gossip or whatever, like you said, responding to the negativity. So I guess we're gonna ask you that too. Like, how do you empower and get away from maybe the addictive behavior with it as well? I know we kind of talked about that last show, but it's the same thing to me when it comes back to the snacks.
Yeah, and it comes back to the discipline that my wife talked about. I mean, sometimes you eat, despite the fact that you really want something, that you're actually craving something, you have to have the discipline to walk away from it. Like we talked about, putting your phone on airplane mode, right? We understand that we can't talk on the phone in the sky, but when we land, what's the first thing we do?
Set it on.
Exactly. Yo, I just landed. I'm popping. We in Florida, right? You know, but it's the discipline to say that I know that the Twinkies are in the cupboard, right? I know that they're in the pantry, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab this zucchini over here or this asparagus because this is what I need in order to reach my goals. Once again, goes back to your goals. Where do you want to go? And will that Twinkie take you there? Will that tweet take you there, right? Will responding to this toxic person on Facebook that just disrespected you take you where you want to go? Or is it going to feed into pulling you back into a space that you don't need to be?
Wow. I think I got something for y'all. So a lot of times people blame their environment, or a lot of times people are literally in a bad environment. So how would you pretty much speak to someone whose environment is toxic on ways to overcome?
Thank you. I think anytime you talk about environment, it's things, people always think about things around them. But your environment really is your mental state and how strong you are to be able to overcome and persevere through different things. Because you can have, as a parent, you can have 3 kids, and they're in a particular environment in your home, but they have another space that they're in the environment in their head. That's why they can all come out in 3 different ways. So I think the first thing is your own mental stability, and you have to have your own, again, I keep saying this word, discipline, and you have to be at peace with your mind. And once you get the discipline and then you're at peace with your mind, you can overcome anything. You know, the Bible says in Philippians 4:13 that I can do all things. And if you get that in your spirit, you can have the ability to overcome. And some people say, well, what are we talking about besides scripture, besides prayer? We can talk about counseling. We can talk about putting good people around you. It may not be people in your household that you hold in high regard, but creating a fence for other people to bring into your life so they can be that bridge to get you out of that. and things of that nature can help.
That's promising because, a lot of times people just accept their environment for what it is. And it's like, I can never do better because I don't have anything that I can aspire to. But it's prolific because you can, supersede your circumstances. So thanks for that.
And just real quick, in the few moments that we have left on this side of the show, how can you flex that muscle, right? It's easy to say, we may make it look easy in just saying, yo, be disciplined, right? Exercise discipline in your life and say no to that Twinkie. But yo, I've been eating Twinkies my whole life. Right. So how do we take baby steps or the small things we can do to get started to start flexing that discipline muscle?
I think that there's a certain anxiety and fear that comes along with change. And many of my mentors have shared with me that when you experience that fear and that anxiety that comes with wanting to grow, wanting to develop, wanting to move forward, that you do it anyway. You do it afraid. You take that step afraid. You read that book that you didn't want to read afraid. You write that business plan afraid. And if you do all those things afraid, then eventually you build confidence and you build competence. Look, going back to what my wife said earlier in terms of your internal environment, the biggest haters in the world live right here in your mind. That's doubt and fear. And doubt and fear cannot live with confidence and prosperity. They can't occupy the same space. So you got to evict doubt and fear from your mind. And when it does creep into your mind, you do it anyway.
And to add to that, one of the most powerful things that my husband and I shared this, I shared this with him a couple months ago, is that when you are looking to do something and achieve your goals, write down what's the worst thing that can happen. Just write down 3 things, like what's the worst thing that could happen if I don't eat this Twinkie, And once you see that in the manifestation on paper or on your iPhone, you get that in your mental and you realize it's not that deep. And in growing and in prospering, people often don't want to talk about failure. My husband and I, we've fallen on our face multiple times, and you just get back up. The power is in getting back up. We're not perfect. He without sin cast the first stone. So none of us on here are perfect. So we got to keep perfecting ourselves and know that will lead to failing. It will lead to misunderstandings. It will lead to losing some friends, losing some relationships. But as you grow, God will always put people in your life that allow you to continue to grow. And that doesn't mean that some people will fall off.
Yeah.
Wow. In my house.
Yeah, y'all done drop somebody drop a pop in there for that, please.
P.O.P.
I hope you guys are popping it in the chat.
All right, so check this out. As much as I want to continue this conversation, we got more heat to drop. We got more things coming up, y'all. So before we move any further, I want to let y'all know, for those who are tuning in, dropping pop in the comments, we got something special coming for somebody. So make sure y'all stay tuned. We're going to have something real special coming for somebody in the comments in just a few moments. But in the meantime, I want to kick it to Dr. Anderson, who want to drop a little bit of knowledge on us about a very important topic.
What's up, Transitions community? I'm Dr. Gina Anderson. Thanks for having me today. I'd like to take some time to answer a few questions that you guys have submitted. So, other healthcare professionals and myself agree that some of the safety protocols in place will remain for the foreseeable future. These protocols include vaccinations. If you can and have had clearance from your primary care physician, please take your coronavirus vaccine. Whichever vaccine is available to you, the Pfizer, the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnson, we recommend that you take it. Wearing masks. Continue to wear your mask. Properly worn masks should cover your mouth and nose and be secured under your chin. Social distancing. Continue to practice social distancing by staying 6 feet apart from each other. Hand washing. Hands need to be washed with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. So, though fully vaccinated, individuals can begin to participate in some pre-COVID activities, but it's still recommended that you should not visit indoors without a mask, with people with increased risk for severe illnesses from COVID-19, and you should not attend medium or large gatherings. For all intent and purposes, you should be allowed to be lax within your home environment if safety protocols are followed. But the main concern will be from visitors from others who have not had adherence to the CDC guidelines, nor permanently reside in your same household. The other concern is for younger asymptomatic carriers who unknowingly spread the virus by minimal interaction. If we continue to work together, we can eventually eradicate coronavirus and return back to some form of normalcy. Again, thank you for your time and attention. Continue to be blessed and safe.
No, thank you, Dr. Anderson, for answering those questions, for your expertise and helping us all to stay healthy and stay safe. But check this out, y'all. So I'm going off script. I got to put the cards down. Look. Darius, man, look. I've been peeping that shirt, bro, all night. Okay?
Brother.
The shirt is fresh. You know I'm a t-shirt connoisseur. What's going on with the shirt, my man?
Marcus. Y'all ain't know I'm the plug, bro? Man, y'all thought Franklin Saint was the plug. I'm the plug. Trying to tell y'all, all right? So, these pop shirts go on sale Sunday, okay? Go to the C-Tab Church website. Go ahead and grab you one, all right?
Man, I'm so excited. I'm grabbing mine. I'm gonna keep it $150. Sunday, you say what now? It's on the C-Tab website?
C-Tab website.
On the Shop Tab, ctabchurch.com, Shop Tab. Make sure you get a shirt, because you sure enough gonna see me in one real soon, like ASAP. It's like a new exclusive pair of sneaks. Shane, as I alluded to a moment ago, we got something special coming for somebody. Speaking of a pop shirt, tell me who is the winner and what they get.
Well, we have a very, very, very lucky, blessed winner. Whitley has been popping all night in the chat, hitting the pop button and sharing. So Whitley,
right.
Congratulations.
You said Whitley?
Yep, Whitley.
All right, Whitley, we see you.
Yep.
P.O.P.
We have a pop shirt for her, so make sure you let me show you guys the shirt. Hold on.
Hey,
Okay.
Very couture. If you can zoom in, go ahead.
Zoom in on that. Zoom in on that.
Willie doesn't have to be the only one rocking this shirt though, because you guys can go visit, but you do win this tonight. So be sure to DM us on our C-Tab Transitions IG page. DM us your address and your name and your size, and we will be sending you a shirt.
Congratulations.
Thanks for engaging with us.
All right, so we got a quick video about all the amazing services here at Christian Tabernacle Church in Southfield. Check it out.
Well, Transitions family, as we said before, we want you to make sure that you are taking advantage of everything that we have available here to help you perfect on purpose. If you are watching, you're a part of the Transitions family. On Sundays, we have Fervent 15 prayer. We pray together for 15 minutes. You never know, 15 minutes could change your life. Prayer changes things. We want you to be involved. So if you go to our C-Tab Transitions page or text our 22999. We want to make sure you transitions. There it is. Text to 22999 to stay abreast of what's going on with our transitions team. We do have more upcoming events.
Absolutely. And we also have Families Fed Transitions Takeover May 15th. Okay. Also, the next P.O.P experience, May 21st. Don't miss it. All right.
Yeah. So many amazing things going down right here at C-Tab, at the Tab, as I like to call it. Yo, as we wrap up the show, you don't want to miss out on any of those great things that we have going on here at this amazing, amazing ministry. Speaking of that, we just want to give honor to and so thankful to the patriarch and matriarch of this house of worship here at C-Tab, Pastor Dr. James L. Mormon, and his first and only lady, Sister Loretta Mormon. Thank you so much for being a revolutionary in Christ and giving us a space in order to have this type of candid dialogue, right? This type of candid conversation. We are so thankful for you. Special thank you to Sherikia and Jahquan Hawkins, y'all. They got so much going on. Where can they find you guys? Where can they find y'all on social media? I know you guys do a lot of information or a lot of activities just around the Detroit community. Anywhere they can find you guys?
Facebook, IG, Twitter, all the usuals.
All the stuff, all the mediums.
In the house, because it's a pandemic.
You say, in the house, safe. Right here at the P.O.P experience, right? Right here, right? At the P.O.P experience, in your house, from your computer, from your tablet, from your iPhone, all of that. Also, special prayers, y'all. We know it's been a lot going on, like in the news. Loss of DMX, Earl Simmons, rest in power, rest in heaven. Everything going on. We praying for all those negatively impacted by, unfortunately, the tragedies of Dante Wright, Adam Toledo. So keeping this world up in prayer, y'all. Make sure y'all pray diligently. Make sure you join us for Fervent 15 because that's what we'll be praying about as well. And again, make sure you text transitions to 22999 and make sure you join us for Sunday service. It's going down. But all that being said, as we tune out, right, we about to turn up. I want to kick it on over to DJ Wright. Go ahead and drop a beat, DJ.
Check it out. Now, there's been a bunch of jewels dropped today. So, I need you to do what you got to do. Like, share, comment, you know what I'm saying? Pop, transitions. We like to thank T-Tab for hosting this lovely event. Like Marcus said earlier, let's get it. We out.
Juice. Wait a minute, run it back. I got the truth. Girl talk to rebel to rehab. We been had it. Don't mind every hash. I'm teaching the youth. In his face. Running up the charts was never the race. Buy a ticket to the show and you might get to heaven on it. Boy, we leaking.